Hello, Dewey. I'm the granny who talks like this, Rutabaga.
And I'm the granny who doesn't want to be here because I keep watching a damn onesie episode. Minty.
And this is Fun Untitled, where we serve every podcast with a side of appy juice.
So if you don't know, the last 10 episodes that just came out on Bluey on Disney Plus is a real heart-wrencher.
Involve old people, babies, and one turtle
Turtleboy.
that refused to talk against all odds. I told Minty before recording this, why didn't Turtleboy explain what's happening? A giant, not the biggest plot hole of this season, but a plot hole.
Oh my god. So we're just gonna talk about the 10 newest episodes, starting off with the one that pretty much broke the internet.
We're going from best to worst.
By our subjective means. I'm gonna start with Onesie. The one where Brandy wants a kid more than anything else.
Okay, let's start off from the beginning.
Sorry.
So, a woman comes onto the doorstep and we're like, who's this? Oh my god, it's Chili's sister. Why is it that the dads always have brothers and the moms always has sisters in these kids shows? Like, God forbid we ever mix the streams. And as we said, Bluey's like, why do we only see Brandy once in our lives? And Chili goes, well, I'm gonna make the whole internet sad in the next minute. And I'm gonna explain to you infertility. It's so fucking sad.
I mean, it's not meant to be. It's just so heart-wrenching because it's like, I mean, it's weird because you could just maybe reason stuff out. Like, she could still start a family with adoption or whatever, but like, that's not the point.
See, this is where Annie, aka Rutabaga, goes internet sleuthing. And, okay, so this is like Bluey behind the scenes. So, in the promo art of Bluey, Chili was pregnant. Pregnant. She had a baby inside her. She had a baby bump. But as we see in the series, she does not have a baby bump. So, the leading theory is that Chili and Brandy just has genetics where it's hard for them to conceive children. So, they probably bonded in the beginning at the fact that they had a hard time having kids, that Chili most likely had a miscarriage because of that episode of the show where like she kind of freaked out when like the baby balloon popped. But like when Chili started to have kids, it just became harder for Brandy, who used to bond with her sister over this, to like even see her sister and her happy family.
I mean, it makes sense, right? Because like Bluey's like 6 to 7 and Brandy's probably like, okay. Then Bingo comes along and she's like, nope, this is not okay now.
There's one scene in this episode that you mentioned that really stuck with me, when they were in the car and they were like, well, I guess we live here now because this is the little girl Bingo's insane, but it's okay, there's a lot of snacks underneath the chairs because our kids are messy. But then somehow Bingo got into the car and you said, oh, Bandit definitely let her in.
Because Bandit didn't want to deal with her no more. I mean, by the end of the episode, he's just on his phone ignoring everyone.
As a real dad should.
There's a real dad move.
Alright, the next best episode, in our very professional opinions, remember kids, we are over the age of 10. Everything we say goes.
Absolutely. And we say Granny Mobile is the second best episode, where Bluey, Bingo, and Muffin are playing grannies, because you know how much they love grannies. It's always a fun bit. I like the bus one. That was super funny. But Muffin gets to play the grouchy grandma, and then Bandit and Chili are helping their friend Lila do a garage sale, but she's not very good at bargaining with people. So when this little tiny pug woman comes and is like, I'm gonna take your $300 scooter for $100, grouchy grandma Muffin comes and says, hell no, and upsells the price to like $1,100 plus the original $100.
I think like $1,200 and a jar of lollies.
And a jar of lollies.
Okay, here's the two plot holes of this episode. It was funny, don't get me wrong. It's very cute how technically Muffin didn't want to be the grouchy granny, but they couldn't think of a third granny to the very end. One, how did Muffin know how to count to 1,200 when she couldn't even read 300? Because she's like 5, I think.
Yeah.
I forget what episode, but so I don't think she should have been able to count that high. But the biggest plot hole, in my opinion, I don't care about the counting one. I think you could get away with that. Where was Walk Socks? Where was my baby Socks? Where's Muffin's sister? Because there's so many times Muffin's hanging out with her cousins and Socks isn't there. And I want to know why. Justice for Socks.
You know, that first one, you used the term plot hole kind of correctly. But I do think reading and counting are two different skills, especially at that age. The second one, you're not using the word plot hole correctly.
It's a plot hole because in the episode Backpack, you can see Socks hanging out with all her cousins and sister. But then in the episode, the one where Muffins didn't skip to a nap, and this one with Socks.
Socks? You're saying Socks is dead?
No.
That's gonna be super depressing.
That's not my... I didn't say that at all. I think Bluey and Bingo hate Socks.
No.
Either that or Socks has a biting problem and like cannot be allowed out the house.
She has 3. She is the youngest.
No, because in backpacks, you see her out of the house.
All I'm saying is that sometimes the youngest one doesn't get to be in the group all the time.
Don't look at me when you say that.
Well, you're technically not the youngest of our group.
Oh, hell yeah.
Although I will say the 4 of us were usually always together.
Moving on to the third best episode. In this one, we have a disagreement.
Do we? I thought we both decided it was Turtleboy.
No, we didn't, because I decided it was Tradies.
Oh, forget Tradies.
What do you mean forget Tradies? Did you not hear the plot hole I said in the beginning where I said Turtleboy didn't talk?
Again, that's you using that term incorrectly.
Okay, but legitly, okay, Turtleboy, it's very cute because you explain your episode, I'll explain mine, and I'll say the giant plot hole in your episode, the actual plot hole. It's not really a plot hole.
No, because you don't use that term correctly. Turtleboy is about, oh my god, Bandit blocking the TV and then saying, oh yeah, we're going out, and just dragging her. That's so funny.
I love Bandit and Bingo.
That's so cute.
I feel like Bandit, like, he teases Bluey more, but he just ruins Bingo's life more. Like, because he can't do, like, a verbal jib-jab with Bingo as much because she's younger, so it's more of a, I am going to mess with your sense of reality.
But anyways, Bandit takes Bingo to the park, and Bingo finds Turtleboy, which is a toy turtle plushie. And, she plays with it. I mean, she's got $1 million, so I don't know why she needs this one. But she plays it, and is like, oh, can I bring Turtleboy home? And Bandit's like, no, you can't bring Turtleboy home. He's probably got a master. Or an owner. You know what I mean?
Turtleboy serves no one.
So just leave him at the park, and Bingo's like, okay. But once Bingo leaves, then this other kid comes, and then he starts playing with Turtleboy. And he is basically going through the same thing with his mom, where he's like signing, can I have Turtleboy? And the mom's like, no, you can't have Turtleboy, just leave him here for now. And they do this for a couple of days. And then after a while, like, Bingo and the deaf kid are both like, oh, let's hide Turtleboy. Separately, of course, because I don't want anybody or like his owner to come back and take Turtleboy away. And then in the end, they decide like, no, like, let's leave Turtleboy in the park because his owner is probably looking for him. And there's a cute ending where like Bingo's like, you know what? I do hope Turtleboy's owner comes. And Band's like, why? And it's like, so that he's not lonely anymore.
I think it's very clever because the deaf part mirrors the Bingo part exactly. But because of that, we know what the deaf kid is saying, even though they're only saying what they're saying.
Oh my god, you're right. And it adds a little bit of diversity and inclusivity.
And when I heard that, it's very accurate to Australian Sign Language. Like, they did the research right.
Oh, kind of hard when they have 3 stubby fingers.
My problem with Turtleboy is if you are an adult and you see your kid play with a doll that they found outside in a park, would that not skeeze you out?
Depends on how clean the toy is.
No, because I don't care. Because, like,
what if it's a plastic toy?
See, my metaphor here is like, what if a dog came and beat on it and it doesn't work here? So, like, what if an ant came and spit on it, It's a dirty Turtleboy.
Again, what if it's a plastic toy? Then it's like not as dirty as if like it had fur.
I guess. A plastic toy is still dirty, it's just easier to clean.
Yeah.
That kid ain't cleaning. Now, in Tradies, Bluey and Bingo living their life. It's all cool, it's all jazz. Until someone comes start digging up their yard.
That's the most kid thing they do when they hide from the strangers.
Oh, yeah, that's what we did all the time.
Like, that is a kid move.
And Bluey and Bingo's like, we're gonna spy on these home invaders almost and see what's up with them. And they're always spying on them, and they're like, oh, here's the news update. The skinny one, I forget what they called him. Chocolate Milk, he's fighting with Cherry. That's his enemy. And the big guy, the boat guy, oh, the missus won't let him have pie. Who's the missus? We don't know.
Must be big guy's enemy.
We're all enemies.
I like them drawing on the chalk.
Yeah. Being like, yes, let's record all this. And like, Chili's like, you guys can do whatever you want, but those guys out there better finish my fish pond. We've been doing this since the episode Stump. It's been a while.
Oh my god, you're right.
Yeah.
Do you think they had to, is there a reason they waited, or do you think they're just like continuing the story?
I think this one writer's like, I want to continue the story that someone left empty.
Holy smokies.
And then, but like, here's the plot twist. The big guy got ice cream. And Bingo's a traitor and came running to the big guy. And they have a little heart-to-heart. And they're like, baby, I don't want to be this guy's enemy.
That was super cute.
And in the end, big guy got his pie. Bluey and Bingo got the fish pond. And Chocolate Milk got back with Cherry. We didn't know we cared about that subplot, but now we do.
That was cute.
That was cute, yeah.
Here's my plot hole with Tradies that I think that I can't get over, and I think it's a big thing that shouldn't be ignored. What is a Tradies?
It's a tradesman.
Oh, you think so?
Yes.
No. You
'Cause-
think they call tradesmen Tradies?
I think that's what kids would call it because they asked Chili who that was. Like, oh, it's a tradesman. Like, oh, tradesies. And technically, they traded with each other.
They didn't trade anything.
They traded a fish pond for a pie, ice cream, or a friendship.
Fish pond equals pie. Ice cream equals friendship.
They're teaching these dogs wrong things. You know how when you teach a dog tricks and you have to give them the treat immediately after they do the trick, or else they get confused?
Right.
We messed up Bingo and Bluey. We messed them up.
Anyways, you let us know which one you like better, Turtleboy or Tradies.
I think our fifth one we agree that is Decider.
What?
Is that not your next one?
I like puppets.
Oh, okay. That's what the whole episode's gonna be. So it's debating.
First two, clear. Everything else, no bars.
Bloodbath. Do you think a child knows what bloodbath is?
I mean, they can figure it out.
It's when you wash your blood and make it clean. That's actually a very legit thing.
You mean like with leeches?
That and, the thing that cleans out, like, your blood because your kidneys are failing.
Oh, dialysis.
Yeah.
We're gonna teach the kids dialysis. Grab a pen and a paper, because it's gonna be very complicated.
I bet they could do a Bluey episode about it. Dun, 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 dun.
So Puppet is about Bandit bringing the fan favorite character back, Unihorse. And Unihorse is in love with Chili. But Chili doesn't like Unihorse because Unihorse doesn't eat vegetables, doesn't brush teeth, doesn't bathe. So Unihorse has to learn from Bluey and Bingo how to be upstanding citizens of Australia, I guess. They never actually say where they are.
No, they live in Australia.
They say that,
They
right?
say landmarks. They don't say outright, we're Australians. But they say, like, oh, we gotta go here. And, like, it's an Australian city.
But is it like a dog pun, or is it,
No,
like...
it's not My Little Pony.
Okay.
It's just straight up.
Okay. But anyway, so Unihorse learns how to be an upstanding citizen and tries to go and woo Chili's heart. He makes a mistake last minute and eats a tick off his mane. And Chili want nothing to do with Unihorse. So Unihorse cries and cries. And Bandit's a bad friend because Bandit doesn't do anything to cheer Unihorse up. Oh, and what did they do? They shatter Unihorse's world by telling him that he's a puppet without feet. That's actually why he's sad. More so than not having Chili as his new wifey. But then they cheer up Unihorse by telling him that what's great about him being a nobody is that he can be anyone.
And then they kind of made Chili kiss a sock, which was gross.
He's a puppet, not a sock.
Oh, right.
That's what they said.
Okay, so we're just gonna pretend that's not a sock.
It's not a sock puppet. I don't think so.
Pretty sure it was a sock.
No, it's
puppet.
not a sock puppet.
And then they had that scene that went viral on the Twitter when they showed kids how people animate on Flash, and I think that went over a lot of kids' heads.
I will say, I did see that scene already. I was like, holy shoots, what is this episode?
Now, yeah, right, that was a nice episode. Unihorse is not my favorite character, but
Really?
Yeah.
You don't like Unihorse?
the guy who's intentionally annoying, you don't like him?
He's funny.
Alright.
He haha funny.
Haha, funny. But what could be more funnier than an episode that people think is an allegory or a metaphor for divorce?
I mean, it does feel like it.
So in the Decider, we meet Lucky's dad again.
Pat.
We all know him, we all love him, and his two kids, Lucky and Chucky.
We finally get to meet Chucky.
No, we met him in that episode they gave around the gift.
Are you sure?
Because Chucky was the one who's like, it was his party, and when all the kids started crying, Pat started to give out Chucky's birthday gifts. And Chucky was like, oh, Dad, my gifts! And the mom was like, I'm not bailing you out of this one.
She's so hot.
She's very...
like, what? Like, they didn't have to do that.
She is. So, Lucky's dad is on Team Maroon, but...
Which is a weird color.
Yeah.
Like, what reference is this?
But Lucky's mom, she lives far away, so she's actually on the blue team. So Chucky has to decide, does he want to be on the maroon team with the dad or on the blue team with the mom? And he plays both sides. First goes to the maroon because Pete says promise later. But then he goes to the blue because there's more dancing there. But you know what? The dancing stops. And it is now time for Chucky to decide, go with dad or go with mom. And he decides, I'm gonna go with dad. And the mom is so sad, but she's like, that's okay. That's your decision. You can go.
That's kind of arbitrary.
Unless it's a metaphor for divorce. The mom had to like clean up her sad party of one all by herself when her team loses. And the end is just kind of like, hey, we made you sad, but guess what? Now we're on the same team because there's a different rugby game.
It's so cute.
Now we hate Mackenzie. You remember that line? We hate Mackenzie. It's gonna come up later.
What color was Mackenzie's family in?
I forget.
Like, they didn't say, but they were on the gold team, and that was super cute.
Yeah, the golden retriever's on the gold team. Mackenzie's like, what, the black and white team? McDonald's supposed to have like an Oreo apple pie.
What does that have to do with anything?
Mind you, Mackenzie.
You're so stupid.
Because he's black and white. At least I knew Mackenzie was a boy.
Like, Mackenzie's a girl's name.
Put in the comments so you think Mackenzie's a boy or girl. And who's,
Name. They clear Mackenzie's a boy.
Oh, okay.
I still think Mackenzie's a girl's name.
Oh, put in the comments how wrong Mitty is.
Oh, which one do you like better? Puppets or the Decider? Okay, now can we get back on the same track? Because I swear, this isn't a bit. We legitimately didn't realize that we are differing.
Yeah, we agree almost on everything, that's why.
Because it's musical statues.
See, I'm gonna have to stop you there.
No!
It's dirt.
No, it's not!
It's dirt.
It's not dirt. You're trying to just make me upset now.
It's weird because for some reason Minty and I talked about this episode beforehand. We're like, okay, we know our first and last episode, so everything else must be the same, right? It turns out it wasn't. It's dirt.
I don't like dirt.
I don't like musical statues. Albeit, I will admit, I don't like musical statues for a very stupid reason.
Okay, so, musical statues is about, it's what they play in the opening all the time. They dance, and then when the music stops, you have to stop moving. But if you move when the music stops, then you're out. And so...
For everyone across the pond, this is like the Doctor Who episode with the angel statues.
For everyone else in the world, it's like red light, green light, but except during green light, you're supposed to dance instead of trying to get something. What's wrong with you? Playing references people don't know.
What's wrong with you? You said a Squid Game reference.
I haven't seen the show. I will one day, though. But anyway, so nobody wanted... Well, okay. Chili wanted to make dinner. Bluey didn't know what she wanted for dinner. Bandit wanted to go running. What was Bingo doing?
She wanted to just live her life.
Bingo just wanted to live her life. So Chili said, alright, we're all playing musical statues. And so Bandit was in charge of the music, and the three girls were dancing, and then Bingo got out and chose a song that Bluey really liked. So now Bluey got into it, and then Bandit was like, oh, you guys suck. So then he got into it, and then eventually to the point where like everyone wanted to dance, but nobody wanted to be in charge of the music. So they looked up the imaginary rule book that said if everyone wants to just dance, then everyone gets to dance. And they also get to eat cereal for dinner.
Because they danced so long, Mom forgot to make dinner. Look, I'm like almost 30. I understand what I'm about to say is not a valid criticism. But if I don't have opinions, why do I have a podcast? I just thought Bluey was kind of annoying this episode.
She's 7.
I understand that. I prefaced it. I said like 5 minutes of me being like, I know I'm wrong. That's why I like Dirt better, because no one irritated me in Dirt. Because Dirt is basically, we see Wendy, the potentially single mother of Juno, and she's like, now remember, Juno, we're Chow Chows. Everyone loves our long hair, so we must keep it clean. And Juno's like, I want to play in the mud. Like, well, Juno, I don't know about that. If you don't let me play in the mud, I might like Dad better.
Annie, that's not what happened.
No, Juno got like really upset and sad because like, I don't want to go play in the mud because then you have to clean me again. That takes hours and I don't want to waste your time. And Juno is just kind of silently sobbing to herself at this point.
It is kind of sad.
Yeah. And Wendy looks over at Bandit and his 2 kids just playing literally a mound of dirt. I never seen a child do that before.
I know.
And Wendy's like, you know what? I'm going to be a good mom. You know that time where I taught those girls how to lift with their knees and to practice stretching?
No, it's lift with your back.
Lift with your back, my
Oh, no,
bad.
lift with your legs, not with your back. You can throw your back out that way.
And knees are part of your legs.
I don't know. It just doesn't sound right.
So Wendy shaves off all her chow chow furs, which I don't think it's supposed to do technically because it doesn't grow back correctly.
You don't know if that's a double-coated dog.
That's true. And then she's kind of look like a rat shave. I don't understand why you keep the puff at the end of the tail.
Well, I mean, you gotta keep something.
So Juno's just playing the mud and Bandit's like, I like your haircut. And Wendy's like, thank you. Don't ever talk to me again. I saw your butt on the window one time.
I do like the episode in a sense where like Wendy is leading by example because she did give Juno permission to play in the mud and that she was willing to clean her again, but Juno said no. So Wendy had to lead by example by like shaving off her hair first and then being like, oh wow, it's actually really nice being short hair and you can do it and then you can go have fun too. Other than that, it was just weird.
But musical statues wasn't.
Music stuff just cute. The dancing. Who doesn't like seeing dancing dogs?
Cats.
I mean, sure, but there's no cats in this story.
Alright, we reached the end and I think it's time for the last episode that we both agree was kind of hot garbage.
Well, there's 2 of them.
Oh, there's 2?
Right.
I totally forgot about one of them. It's so forgettable.
Those stories, which I would assume is the one you forgot.
Yee.
Because it's such a weird story. Basically, Indy.
What dog is she?
Don't ask me now. A pointer?
A pointer sister.
Indy is playing with the beeswax, just like everyone else in class, and she makes what she calls is a horse, but everyone calls it a cow, so that makes her very sad. And Winston comes and is like, don't be sad. And Calypso's like, no, seriously, don't be sad, Indy. Is this how you want the story to end, where you just have a cow? And he's like, no, it's not. So I'm gonna rewrite the story so that way I'm gonna learn what a horse looks like and how to make my cow look like a horse. Okay, I made a little mishap where it looks like a giraffe. I'm going back to a horse.
And Winston is now a car.
He's a car, a wizard, a muscle man, a cape-wielding superhero where Edna would say, no.
He's gonna drive us to a talking horse so we can actually see what a horse looks like.
Look, I think the story overall is kind of cute. Winston's just a lot annoying. Like, it's more annoying than cute.
I liked it when Winston cried rainbow tears, but and obviously did a fake cry.
Look, it's fine, I guess. I don't know why Old MacDonald didn't have a horse. That's a plot hole. Old MacDonald should have had a horse.
E-I-E-I-O.
E-I-E-I-O.
Well, if you think about it, like, Old MacDonald had a chicken, E-I-E-I-O, with a cluck cluck here, cluck cluck there. You think Old MacDonald had a horse with a nay-nay here, nay-nay there? What are we, whipping a nay-nay?
What's wrong with that?
Because you don't say nay-nay, you say nay-nay.
Oh, but it's okay to say oink oink and a moo moo.
Because it's like one short syllable.
Nay is one syllable.
But not how you say nay.
Maybe in Australia, horses don't have an onomatopoeia.
Maybe.
And then our least favorite episode was Space.
I feel like I'm forgetting. I missed something in space. Like, yeah, the universal feeling when, like, you just want to go into a black hole because you thought your mom abandoned you. It's like, oh, I think I missed that.
Because Mackenzie is playing with Rusky and Jack, and they're playing, like, astronauts, right? So Rusky's the pilot, Jack is the navigator / robot, and Mackenzie's the lead scientist. I don't know, because Mackenzie's asking a lot of questions that Rusky and Jack ask, and then Mackenzie is always trying to roleplay that Mackenzie is
Abandoned.
Oh my god, he is, isn't he?
Yeah.
Because doesn't this tie in with the other Bluey episode where Bluey had a bird and then the bird died and Bluey kept replaying the moment?
Oh, yeah.
So Mackenzie's kind of doing that in a sense where he's role-playing that he's being abandoned. What's interesting, right? Because when they go to the quote-unquote black hole, Mackenzie chooses to go through the black hole and find himself in a different world where he finds like the quote-unquote aliens, which was Bluey, Honey, and Chloe.
And I think Calypso might have been there. I was very unclear if Calypso was in the flashback or actually there.
I believe just in the flashback being like, oh, I noticed that you were confused when you came out of the slide because you can't find your mom, but your mom is actually over there. But what does this mean then? And then Rusky and Jack like quote unquote saves Mackenzie from the alien. It's still confusing on what this episode means.
I think it would have made sense if Mackenzie was actually abandoned by a parent, albeit of their own free will or out of their control. But we know Mackenzie has both parents because we see them in the face paint episode.
It's weird because when I was first watching it, I thought it was an episode about like Mackenzie feeling left out because he didn't know like space terms. He didn't know how to play the role he was given. But then he kind of also took on the role too because he was like, oh well, I'm the lead scientist, so I must know how the black hole ends. But it doesn't tie in with the slide story, so I'm just very confused. It's just very confusing. And if someone could explain it to us, that would be great.
Quick theory, Mackenzie came out of the slide, quote unquote slide, and his parents didn't take him home. Another parent took him home, and he was switched that birth.
Oh, goodness gracious. Alright, well, let us know what you thought of these 10 episodes and in what order and who was right most of all.
Until next time. And then we play the ending music where Winston's there.
What is the ending music?
Who knows?